Hi everybody, today's the day I'm going to share my finance planner with you. I do have all of my family finances in here as well as the majority of my personal finances. We do the Dave Ramsey system. I do have a series on that I did last year in case you're wondering. So I won't go into, tons of details about that, but as you can imagine with all of that, it's completely stuffed. I have shown this briefly before, but it is stuffed to the gills here. And if you're not familiar, this is a Franklin Covey binder. It's the Aurora style, and it's the classic size, which is like their A5 half sheet of paper size. And as you can see with how stuffed it is, I can still get the strap in here with this little slit right here. And when it's not so full, this is the main thing I love about this binder, is that it's got this magnet right here, and it's very, very strong. So when it's not so full, it kind of like magnetizes and shuts itself. So I really like that versatility of this particular binder. It's got a pocket on the back, which I have some checkbook and budgeting registers that I use. And let me start from the top, I believe. So this is so stuffed it can stand by itself. My brain thinks in colors, so obviously being a finance binder, it's the colors of money are green, gold, and silver. I don't really have a lot of gold, so I'm using yellow here. But from the top, it's kind of divided into 3 different sections. So I've got my budget notebook right here. This green binder clip just holds the pages that are completely done. I don't ever have to refer back to them ever again. This section up to about right here, these are my calendar pages. I do have a full year of monthlies and weeklies in here. I really like to have the whole year in here, so that's one of the reasons that it is so bulky, but for me it's worth it. I do have a Franklin Covey bookmark right here, and this just marks the current week that we are on. And then I have my little smiley face guy here, because with money, it can just get really stressful, and you have to be disciplined and tell yourself no a lot. But ultimately with money, it should be a tool to bring happiness and help your dreams come true and do good things with it. So that's my little reminder right there, is to focus on the positive and be happy when I'm doing my finances. And then this last section, the majority of it is my personal section with, the sinking funds and cash envelopes and things like that. In my personal budget, there are a few family pages, which I'll show you in just a minute. This is marked with this fold-out bookmark dashboard thing that I've made. I've showed it to you, but it's been quite a while, so some of you may not have seen that, but it's just made out of a plastic file folder. And I think I got them for like $2 at Walmart. I really, really love it because it is so durable. It's never going to rip or wear out. You can actually write on it, which I've done a lot in the past with dry erase, wet erase, permanent marker, and you can just erase it with some rubbing alcohol or dry erase cleaner. So I really, really like that. So this marks our current, or my current budget, my current paycheck amount, and then this back here just marks the end of the personal section. So gets you an idea of how that is set up. So let's go ahead and open this up. And I've also showed this before, but actually before I get to that, let me show you my pens. So again, keeping with the color theme here with money, I've got 2 silver pens that I'm trying to use up. This is a Right Dudes pen that I got at Target, which is a gel pen, and this is a Sakura Souffle. So again, going with that gray silver theme. And then this is a Mochi Things dual pen highlighter combo. I'll show you when I get to my notebook how I use that, but I actually like that one. And then last but not least is my 4-color Bic pen. The orange barrel is the finer point. The blue barrel is like a 0.7 or 1.0. But anyway, fortunately, my blue has run out. I've used that all up. And with the accounting colors, you just need black for assets or your income, and then red is anything for a bill or a debt. So those are the accounting colors that I use, and then I also have green, which I use just kind of like for just any random notes about money. Okay, so now let's get back to the notebook. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, so this notebook I got from Amazon several years ago. I know I've shown this before, and it was less than $10, and there's quite a number of pages. I can't remember the number of pages, but this is the second full year that I'm in it. I will be done this year. I've actually used every single page now in it. So it does last a while in case you're curious. And I'm going to try to show you the pages. They are pretty wide ruled, and I don't really like that, but it's working out fine, you know, with the pens that I've been using and everything. And then how I use this highlighter is when a page is completely done, I put a big green X with the highlighter part of this pen, and that way it's just a visual, good visual reminder of me that I only have to worry about that page anymore or any information on there. For some unknown reason, when I first started using this notebook, I was only writing on the right-hand side of the page, which is why this clip isn't closer to the end, but all the pages are full. So I'm just getting there. As you can see, I kind of like decorated with some washi tape at the beginning of last year, and I just didn't do that this year. So how I have this set up, I call this my perfect world budget. So if you're familiar with Dave Ramsey, I'm the nerd, I'm the accountant, I'm the one who likes to crunch the numbers. And so at the beginning of the year, I would just take the black, I took the black, and in black, I wrote down the date and how much the paychecks are. Then with the red right below it, I put with all of our bills and expenses exactly what needed to come out of each particular paycheck, and was very specific about that. So I don't pay my bills early. I know some people do. I don't. Like, I'm not paying the bill until the due date. So there's not, like, some people like to pay it, you know, all their bills on the 15th and then have the rest of it to do whatever. I don't do that. I'm like, I'm not paying it till it's due. So that's how I have it set up. And then all the rest of it, since I'm the saver of the relationship, every single dollar, I'm always like, save. So that's the perfect world. And I do that because I want to have an idea of every single paycheck. I want to be super organized and know. I don't ever want to get to a paycheck and I'm like, I don't know what's coming out, or I have no idea. We have a couple of paychecks in our year where we actually don't have enough if we're just paying the actual bill. And I'm talking specifically about like larger bills like our insurance. We actually need to not save as much that paycheck before and roll it over. So that kind of stuff, I've completely already organized and figured that out in January. So there's no surprises that are going to happen with our budget. At the very back of this is my sticky note, my dashboard collection here. These two are Post-it brands, so I don't use these very often, but once in a while I write down some things that we need to buy, you know, purse. And then these are my all-time favorite sticky notes with finances, and sadly, I'm super bummed. I think they're discontinued. I haven't been able to find them, and I'm kind of being precious with these now because I'm down to my last couple packs. These three right here are from Mochi Things, which I'll show you what those look like. These just come in this little cute little cardboard booklet like that. So I use these for my personal spending, and really what I'm talking about is my sinking funds and my my cash envelopes. So I don't usually keep these. I did keep a couple ones because I knew I was going to show this eventually, but I did keep a couple of these, but normally I use this for the paycheck and just kind of move the stuff forward and then throw the past one away. But anyway, I really like those. And then this, I actually watched a Budget Girl video on how to save money with your pets. So this is a note about some specific products to buy for my dog, so in case you're wondering. And I don't know if you've used DIY Fish or if you're familiar with that. I kind of like that the notebook is kind of that style where there's flip out. So I'll have my budget pages, the real world budget here, and then have the perfect world budget here. So it's kind of that fold out, flip out kind of a thing going on. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of cool. Okay, I have this slipped into this right here, which is just a pocket. I'm sure that that's not what they intended, but since this is like an A5 size, it worked out fine. And I don't really take this in and out. It can be done. It's a little bit tight, but I don't really have to do that. So that's all good. And then for the pockets right here, as you can see, I've just got some sticky notes. So these are just some ones with arrows, and that's kind of appropriate sometimes for money, right? And I'm just trying to use those up. These were kind of a mistake. These are some stickers that I bought off of Amazon. I mean, super cute, right? I had no idea that they were so huge. So I don't know if the description was off or I wasn't paying attention or a combination, but anyway, these are huge. I use these anytime we save some money, obviously, but they do take up, you know, a whole one of these boxes right here, which I'll get to those in just a minute. Then I have just some Target sticky notes that I'm trying to use up right here. And then these are Dave Ramsey quotes. So it's Dave's Daily Tip. I believe they're from his blog, and I got these from just a planner group that I'm in. And they just had these all on one page, so I printed them out on sticker paper, cut them apart, and then of course I had to color code them and sort them by color. So with each month over here, I've just kind of assigned a color for each month. And so I put one of these on a monthly and one of these for each week. So I always kind of have like Dave's little nuggets of wisdom or his voice in my mind, but I really, really have liked those. And I think I forgot to tell you, so I will go back and also show you this, that I have Martha Stewart tabs right here. And I believe they used to be in Staples. I know that she's back in Staples. I'm not sure if all of her products are back, but these are really great. They're green, of course, going back with the money. And then I just have these 3 little tabs right here. So this one is our current paycheck, so our current budget, the perfect world budget, of course, and that's what we refer to when my husband and I have our weekly meetings. And then this middle one, so this one moves all the time. These 2 right here don't move. This middle one is an asterisk. Let me see if I can show that better. So an asterisk right there. And that is all of our expenses. So on one side of the page, the left side, I have our monthly expenses. So what it is, when it is due, and the amount. We have several bills, specifically our utility companies, where I just have the averages down. And then also for some reason, they are not due on a specific day. They're kind of due within a range of dates. So I have that also written out. And then on the right-hand side of the page are all of our periodic expenses divided out by month. And that's what I referred to when I was setting up my budget for this year. And then this last one is a number 6, and that is the Dave Ramsey step that we're on. So it's got some details about that one. Obviously, since it's paying off your mortgage, we're going to be on that step for quite a while. So here's how it looks from the beginning or from the front. And so my binder clip right there. Again, this, in case you're wondering, I'm going to talk about this really briefly. This is just a file folder label. Again, sticking with the green theme, I used some Mrs. Grossman stickers, my favorite money stickers. And if you're wondering, if you haven't seen my series, what Frugal Millionaire is, that's just kind of the moniker that I have used for myself because I always want to be frugal and I'm striving to be a millionaire. So that just kind of stuck, and I've had that for years, probably close to decades now. And then this I have also talked about before, but this is from Lovely2, the number 2 CU, off of Etsy. She's got a really great store for printables, and so it's just a download, and I just blew this up on sticker paper and printed it out. But obviously you can tell by my hands I'm very fair, blonde and blue-eyed, so don't let that deter you though. She's got a ton of different skin tones as well as hair and eye colors, so you can pretty much find what you look like. But I don't know if you can see because it kind of blends in, but she's got some money right here and then the piggy bank, and I'm just totally all over that she has a green shirt on because I just love that, you know, with her, the money girl right here. She has a bunch of different, I'm going to say like 60 different things that you can choose from, even like glamour kind of things. But the only other ones I bought were kind of my hobbies, like knitting and gardening and that kind of thing. But they're really, really cute. I really recommend that. She does have sales. I think I got mine 50% off. So anyway, highly, highly recommend her. So let's go ahead and talk about this now. This is just a card protector. And as you can see, there's really cute 3x5 cards that I cut in half, and I'm not going to be sharing my goals, but I have family goals here, personal goals here, and then just some other things. So I want this front and center. So I'm looking at my perfect world budget, I'm looking at my goals, and that's the standard, that's the ideal. And then of course we get into, you know, the nitty gritty real world kind of stuff. And then this I've shared on my Instagram. These are just money questions to ask yourself anytime you're making a purchase. And obviously, if you ask yourself every one of these questions, I think there's like 27 or something on here. You know, more likely than not, I think none of us would ever buy anything ever again because, you know, do we ever truly, truly need something? Usually it's wants. But really the purpose of this is to just get you to think and to just really ponder and just take a step back before you just buy a whole bunch of stuff off. You know, Amazon is my weakness, or just going to Target. You know, I'm talking to pretty much women right here, but you know what I mean? Just taking a step back and really just deciding, is it really a good purchase or not? If you get to the end of all these, you still want to buy it, you know, you've still got the money, you've got the space, and it makes sense, then, you know, buy it with confidence, and then you be like this guy and, you know, it's happy. Then on the back, I just have a picture of my family because that's the most important thing. And Susie Orman has a really great quote that she says, people first, then money, then things. And I really subscribe to that motto because, you know, what's the point of having a whole bunch of money in the bank if your kids don't talk to you or you don't have good family relationships? And then what's the point of having a whole bunch of stuff all over your house if somebody loses their job and you actually need money to live on? So I really like that prioritization there. So here's an example, getting right into the calendar pages, an example of how I use those sticky notes that I showed you. And so this was some things for January. And I'm actually going to show you first what a blank one looks like, and then I'll get back to January there. So I have Franklin Covey undated monthlies. I'm sure I got this with the planner. And it has an index on the front, and how I'm using this is my personal spending. So really briefly, we have our joint account where we pay all of our expenses and anything with family. Then with, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this, so I'm sorry if it's a repeat, but when I have my budget, my husband has his budget, I'm not his mom. Like, I don't care what he's spending his money on as long as he's not overdrawing the account. But my personal budget, I do care about. I want to know exactly what I'm spending my money on. And by that, I mean every single detail. So I have the date, where I went, how much I spent, and then I write out every single thing that I have spent. So I don't write down that I went to Whole Foods and bought groceries. I write down I went to Whole Foods and I bought, 2 packs of gum. I bought 3 protein bars and I bought 2 packages of grapes, etc. Like, you get the idea. I'm extremely detailed. This is the only page that I think I'm going to keep out of my entire calendar section here because this is a really good reference for when I'm doing my budget for the next year. How much did we actually spend on groceries and toiletries and household stuff and that kind of thing? So this is a really good reference page. And also I forgot, what did I buy back in January? I have no idea, but I have this reference page. So very, very detailed on that. Calendar page right here. Very small boxes, so not a lot of room. I'll show you what I've done with that. This drives me crazy, so I've either used sticker paper, like leftover sticker paper, or washi tape to cover that up. And then on the back, it's got a really nice section. It's a task list, personal and business. Obviously, I'm using mine for personal and family. In January, when I did this, there's so much, when you're setting something up and, the first of the year kind of stuff. It was just, for me, a big running list in January. But since then, I have separated them out between personal and family stuff right here and then just check it off. So this is anything with, it's either a task or, something I want to do. Like, I actually want to knit a rug for our living room. So that requires some money. So actually, it can go either way, but I have this also in my finance planner because I need to buy, those super jumbo fat knitting needles. So that's something I would write down here. Or just anything like call the insurance company or move so much money to this other account, whatever. Whatever it is, if it relates to finances and it's something that it's a task and I check it off, then I put that there. Then the weeklies are Avery, and they are week on 2-page horizontals. I'm not crazy about horizontals, but that does work for my finance planner. These are also undated, so I just use washi tape up here. So for the month and then the days for each week. And it does have a timeline, which I don't really want or need. And so I just, again, pick some washi tape color for that month, and then I just mark that off. On the left-hand side, what I've been doing is just putting all of the details for all of our income that's coming in. So not just paychecks, but like if somebody owed me money and I paid them back, I'll put it down here. If we got a rebate on something, anything like that, I will put the details in here. And then on the right-hand side of the page are all the details about our bills or expenses. So for instance, a couple of months ago, our mortgage went up. So I put a big frowny face. I was not happy about that, but it was because of taxes. So I wrote down, going from this to this and because of taxes. So just that kind of thing. So pretty much when we're doing our budget meeting, this is what I'll have open. So I'll have our real world budget over here, perfect world budget coming from the notebook. And then this is the real world kind of stuff. Since I have our utilities, what was the bill for that month. So I put all the details here. I even like to rock it old school sometimes and do longhand math And so I'll have like random calculations down here. So pretty much this is I use these kind of as note pages or anything that I need for a scratch kind of a paper. I have my Dave Ramsey quote over here on the right-hand side. And so that's just how it works. I do use some color coding dots once in a while if I feel like it. If I don't do it. I don't feel like I'm tied to that. But that's how my weekly pages are set up and how those work. So obviously I'm not going to show you those because there's private information, and my husband's part of this and he has not agreed to that. So here's how January ended up. As you can see, really full. I have a squiggly line right down here, and that just divides first paycheck of January, second paycheck. Not necessary, but it kind of just breaks it up for me instead of having like one long running list. And it's not that, my amount that I get is the same, but it's just, I spent $5.95 here. I had to write that down, whereas down here I spent, $89. So, once the money's out, it's out. I don't write down savings. I only write down what I actually spent because I don't need details about my savings. I've got that in my account. And then I've also got color coding right here. So pink is personal, yellow is friends or family, and then probably can't tell a separation, but this is orange, which is food or anything to do with groceries, that type of thing, and then blue. So I only have this color coding system for my personal expenses. So even though it's great to have this detail and I refer back to it often, I can look really quickly and say, okay, I went to the grocery store this many times, or I, bought some things for myself, or, why did I buy something for my family? What was it? And I can just go back and refer to that. So this is an extremely helpful page. This is how my monthlies are set up. So as you can see, my Dave Ramsey quote over here, I've got some washi tape. I've done this on most of all my monthlies, where I just mark off the days that are not being used for the month. And then I just use sticker paper here. I'll show you February, where I used washi tape. Here's some stickers I'll show you in a minute, but I just had these from the teacher supply store. Obviously red for February, and then here's March, which is green. And I just use, as you can see, stickers for February and March and some other ones. Then I just use white paint pen. These are 1/2-inch Avery circles, so obviously my color for January was blue. And then these are, I just love happy faces, obviously. So happy stars right here are for any no-spend days. And this includes both me and also our household, like if we don't have any bills due. So of course the goal here is to get more stars as each month goes on. I have been known to look and see like, okay, I've got a bill coming up, and so I better get my errands done that day so I can get myself a sticker the next day. Like, yeah, I'm still a second grader. I'm highly motivated by sticker charts and stickers, so it's all good. Whatever works, right? And then I just have a color coding system on my monthly just because there's not really enough room to write anything out. So on the right-hand side, as you can see, green dot obviously is for, money coming in. They're always in the same position, as you can see. And then I have 5 different colors on the left-hand side, which are all expenses. So I kind of have placed those in order of importance. So obviously for me, paying your bills, your obligations, which are red. So every red dot, we have something due that day. Orange is for food, which I think is the next most important thing. You got to eat. We don't want hangry people. And then the next one is blue, which is my car. Yellow is the next one, which is friends and family. And because honestly, that's usually gifts or something like that. And then pink is personal. This is a really good visual. I refer back to this a lot. And it's not only a good visual, but it's good to see patterns. Like I can look at this and say, why did I go to the grocery store 2 days in a row? I try and only go once a week. Well, I had an appointment this day, and I can go back and look. Where did I go? And I can go back and say, okay, I had an appointment that day, and so this was like Whole Foods is on the other side of town. Okay, that makes more sense to do it than on this day when I'm already across town. So those kinds of things, this is really helpful for that. I can also look at this and say, 3 days in a row, like slow down, girl. Like what's going on? Why are you buying 3 days in a row? You bought yourself something. I was doing no spend planner stuff, so what am I buying? So I go back to my list right here and I can see, oh yeah, I needed some deodorant or whatever, some Burt's Bees, and they were at different stores, and so that's why I did that 3 days in a row. Anyway, you get the idea. So that has been really, really helpful. In February, I'll show you, I tried to use some pens, which are these Sakura souffles that I'm trying to use up. I didn't like it. I mean, it worked okay for February, but I went back to the stickers because I just like that a lot better. So that's how my calendar pages work. So I hope that all makes sense. And then, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself there. Let me go to this section. I really need a bookmark here. That's one of the things I need to add. I do have payday stickers. I probably didn't show you that, but do have a few stickers on the weeklies, but I'll get to that in just a second. So I did buy the Franklin Covey Dollars and Cents package, and it comes with the yearly income and expense tracker. So when I can refer back to my weeklies and my budget and plug those numbers in, but I knew I was going to do this video, so I didn't want to put that in yet. So bill tracker, debt elimination. We don't have any consumer debt. Like we have our cars are paid for and we don't have any credit cards or anything like that. But I think I do want to use this probably for my mortgage, our baby step 6. Financial accounts, yearly investment tracker, personal property record. All of these things are really good, you know, year at a glance types of things that I will keep, just like that front page of my monthly that I'm going to keep. Everything else is probably going to go. Home project record, which obviously because it takes money. Car information and servicing, again, that's just a really good reference page. Annual summary of business expenses. My husband's business, I mean, I'm not part of the financial part of that at all, so I will probably use this for something with personal. And then it goes right into my personal section with my budget. I went over this in detail in my series, so I won't go over that again, but basically one paycheck per side of the page. I'm just using Daytimer grid paper here. And then I've got the monthly budget worksheet is also part of the Franklin Covey Dollars and Cents pack. This is my family stuff, so I covered some things up, but I don't care about this page, you can see, but it's double-sided. And then the expense envelope as well is from Franklin Covey. Because I've got that awesome front monthly page, I'm not using this right now, but when I don't have that anymore, I will start using this in that same way. I really don't keep that many receipts. I'm going to say like 2 or 3 out of the whole month because I don't need to know that I bought celery 6 weeks ago. Also because that's written down when I'm tracking my expenses. So I don't need the receipt for that. I really don't buy anything that has a warranty. I mean, all the stuff I buy is like, you know, toilet paper and you know, random like makeup once in a while. So I really don't need to keep receipts for anything. And then this is the other thing that I have. This is from my top-down planner, which I've talked about that before. There's 11 sheets in the top-down planner. Drives me crazy because that's such an odd number. You know, there's 12 months. Anyway, what I ended up doing was copying these, and this is why I can't copy things, you guys, because it's upside down for January, and I cut it too short, but it ends up okay. So these are just meeting notes for running meeting notes with my husband and my budget meeting for the week. So obviously in January, there's just a lot more stuff to talk about. So it's just tasks. Who's going to do what, kind of our goals, you know, just that kind of little detail things. Here's some notes about some other things. I'm trying to think if that's okay to show. I think it's okay. Anyway. Then here's my February. So this, really briefly, my personal budget, what I need in cash, this is what I need to keep in checking, because I've got some, you know, things that are automatic. And then this little, you know, trying to get fancy here, this is what I actually need from the bank. So how many 20s, 10s, and 5s. And then this up here is just a little section of, you know, what it needs to come out of that particular paycheck or something like that. I think back here in January, I had, like I owed my dad $5. He bought me something and he wouldn't take the money. So I ended up just, you know, making him dinner. But anyway, then this is my current. I've announced recently that I'm doing no spend in July. So I haven't set up July because I don't really need to. I'm not going to be spending anything. This last section back here are my personal savings. So I'm not going to show you that, but that's what that is. And some sinking fund types of stuff. And then the notes section, I've got a voicemail record. So this is obviously, we don't have cable, so that's not a good example. But like when if I need to call my insurance company for something, so I will write down our conversation right here. And then when this page is done, I throw it away. So obviously I only need one at a time. I do have some extras, but only need one in here at a time. Some notes pages. This last part is one piece of paper for each member of my family. We conveniently all start with a different letter. And I'll show you this. You probably won't be able to see it because it's Christmas list and the pen is terrible, but I just cross things off. Obviously, we're not going to get every single thing on our list for Christmas, so that's just a good reference for when other gift-giving occasions come up. Valentine's Day, birthdays, and things like that. And then I just try and listen throughout the year. If they like randomly mention something in passing, I'll write it down. Also, sizes for people. You know, we're all adults, so we're not growing, hopefully not gaining weight, but you know, just I forget all that kind of thing. So just shoe sizes, belts for the guys, you know, pant sizes, and then shirts, stuff like that. All of that right here. And so when we get to Christmas again, it's going to be a new page. Then Martha Stewart, these have a flap at the top. These are card slots again. And I like these because they're color. I really love that. And that they're green, super awesome, right? For finances. And this is where I keep long-term storage for cards or something like that we're not using. I just took out my last one out of this one. So if I'm going to use something in the next few weeks, then I'll move it to my wallet. But otherwise it will stay in here. So here's some more that we need to use. And here's just some Groupons. We're actually using one this Saturday. We're going to try and Lantern Fest again. If you follow me on Instagram, you know the drama we had with the last one. But anyway, that's super exciting. So kind of that kind of thing. So any like coupons or Groupons or something like that I need to use. And then here's my stickers that I use for my monthly. Then, of course, because I love stickers, here's my favorite Mrs. Grossman's ones. As you can see, it's not just coins, it's also dollar bills. And then pigs are my next favorite. Since I'm using those big ones, the big pig stickers, I'm not using these as much right now. I use this for like when I take my coins to the bank, but I'm trying to use up those other ones first. I think these are discontinued too. I don't know what's going on with pigs not being, you know, the product still not being available, whatever. And then the last Mrs. Grossman stickers are these treasure chest ones, and these are for big stuff. I mean, these make me happy because it's anytime like a tax refund, once in a while we'll get a bonus or just something like that, I will put these instead of like our other sticker. And then these stickers, since I'm highly motivated by stickers, I actually put no spend stickers, happy face stickers on our weekly as well. So that's what I use for these. These were another kind of like looked cuter on Amazon than they actually are, trying to use up kind of the stickers. I made my own budget meeting stickers with Avery, and they're not good. I'm not coordinated enough or something because they're okay. But anyway, I put these on the week for usually every Wednesday, but you know, with my husband's crazy travel schedule, sometimes it's Tuesday or Thursday. And then this is just some random notes. We were like brainstorming some family fun ideas. We try and do a nice family fun thing once a month, and of course that requires money. These are some stickers I got at Hobby Lobby in a calendar pack, but I really like this sheet, but there's only, out of the 4, there's only one that relates to finances. I would love to get a whole pack with tons of sheets of these, but it's not available. Then just some random cardstock stickers that I have in there. These are those cupcake stickers from the teacher supply store. And I just put those on the monthlies just to add some color like the washi tape. Here are the stickers. So I pick, like I said, pick a monthly color. I haven't decided actually for July between red and blue. Anyway, we'll see. I'm kind of leaning towards blue at this point. And then last but not least are checklist stickers. And I pretty much only use one a week, I would say, just for specific tasks that need to get done, you know, after or during when we're doing our budget meetings, something like that. Things that I want to do personally. I will put these on the weekly. And that is it. So I know it's a lot, but there's a lot to talk about with finances, right? Okay, so if you've seen my other videos and you're a little bit concerned, like, I thought you were tracking some of your stuff in your on the go, my wallet planner combo, I will tell you the difference. In here is all the details by paycheck, etc. This little weekly booklet that I use from Hobonichi, this is just an at a glance kind of on the go, but I divide this up by week. So I've got my every other week paycheck information, all that kind of stuff in here. But I broke it down because I have my wallet with me all the time, and I need to keep my budget in front of my brain. I started doing using this for a weekly budget, and I will just briefly write down. I don't think I've spent anything yet. No, I haven't spent anything yet this week. But anyway, this is my weekly budget. These are some things that I want to buy possibly this week. And then I will write down, you can kind of see through, but I just write down the store and just how much I spent. So very, very, condensed version of my budget, but yet it's very much more applicable for the week, if that makes sense. And I still do motivate myself. I give myself no spend stickers in this one as well. So anyway, I hope that all makes sense. I know it's, finances are just complicated, and, people just set things up differently. But anyway, I hope that explains my little setup that I've got going on here. So any updates or any changes, I do want to not change up my system, but I do want to make some improvements in here related to One Book July. But anyway, I will let you know when that happens. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you again soon.